As midnight pressed its cold hands against the quiet suburban streets, three best friends, Maya, Lena, and Theo, huddled beneath the covers in Lena's dimly lit bedroom, their laughter echoing off the walls as the world outside faded into shadow. It was a sleepover tradition, one of many, where secrets spilled out over bowls of popcorn and horror podcasts played softly in the background, daring them to believe in things that crept beyond the edge of the light. They called themselves inseparable, forged by years of loyalty and whispered confessions. But that night, as the moon hung low and the wind rattled the window pane, their trust would be tested by something far darker than any ghost story. The first story began with Lena, who had always been the heart of the group, warm, inviting, and endlessly patient. She was the one who could calm Maya's nerves after a scary movie and coax Theo back into the circle when he retreated into silence. But Lena held a secret, one so strange and unsettling that even Maya, with her sharp eyes and intuition, failed to notice until it was almost too late. It started with small things. Lena's room was always colder than the rest of the house, no matter how high the thermostat. Her closet door, painted a cheerful blue, never stayed shut for long. Sometimes, Maya would catch Lena staring at it, her eyes unfocused, lips pressed tight together. On the night of the sleepover, Lena insisted on sleeping with the closet door closed, checking the latch twice before returning to her sleeping bag. Maya teased her gently, but Lena only smiled, the corners of her mouth trembling. As the clock ticked past 1, Maya awoke to a faint, rhythmic thumping from inside the closet. At first, she thought it was the house settling, but the sound grew louder, steady, deliberate. She nudged Theo, who mumbled sleepily, and together they watched Lena sit bolt upright, her gaze locked on the closet. "Don't open it," Lena whispered, voice raw with fear, but curiosity gnawed at Maya. She crept to the door and pressed her ear against the wood. The sound stopped. Silence pressed in, heavy and suffocating. Then, without warning, the door swung open. Inside, nothing but neatly hung clothes and a pile of shoes. Maya exhaled, relief flooding her. But as she turned back, Lena was trembling, her eyes wide. "You shouldn't have done that," she said. "He doesn't like being disturbed." Confused and unnerved, Maya tried to brush it off as a prank. But that night, she dreamed of a shadowy figure crouched in the closet, its eyes gleaming with hunger. When she awoke, Lena was gone. Her sleeping bag lay empty, and the window was open, curtains fluttering in the breeze. Theo found Lena in the backyard, standing barefoot in the dew-soaked grass, talking softly to someone Maya could not see. As they approached, Lena turned, her face pale and streaked with tears. "He lives in the closet," she whispered. "He's been here since I was little. He likes secrets." From that night on, Lena's closet remained locked. The friends never spoke of the incident again, but Maya sometimes caught Lena glancing over her shoulder, her smile brittle. Whatever Lena had seen, or believed she had seen, lingered between them, a silent, creeping presence that haunted their friendship. The second story belonged to Theo, who had always been the quiet one, content to listen as the others talked. He lived with his grandmother in a rambling old house on the edge of town, where the trees pressed close to the windows and the wind carried strange whispers through the halls. Theo never invited his friends over. He said his grandmother was ill, but Maya suspected something more. One autumn evening, Maya and Lena convinced Theo to host a sleepover. The house was colder than they expected, filled with the scent of mothballs and old paper. Theo's grandmother greeted them with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Her fingers curled like talons around the armrest of her chair. As night fell, Theo suggested exploring the attic, a place he claimed was forbidden. The girls agreed, eager for adventure. Armed with flashlights, they climbed the creaking stairs, their laughter echoing in the darkness. The attic was cluttered with boxes and old furniture, but what caught Maya's eye was a row of dolls, each arranged in perfect formation along a dusty shelf. Lena approached the dolls, her curiosity piqued. One doll, with porcelain skin and glass eyes, seemed to watch her, its lips parted in a silent scream. Maya felt a chill crawl up her spine as she reached out, only for Theo to grab her hand. "Don't touch them," he said, his voice trembling. They belonged to her. Confused, Maya glanced at Lena, who shrugged. But as they turned to leave, the door slammed shut behind them. Panic set in as they rattled the handle, their shouts muffled by the thick attic walls. Theo sank to the floor, his hands covering his ears. "She makes me feed them," he whispered. "She says if I don't, they'll take me instead." The girls pressed him for answers, but Theo only sobbed, repeating the words over and over. Finally, after what felt like hours, the door creaked open, and Theo's grandmother stood in the doorway, her eyes shadowed and cold. "Curiosity is a dangerous thing," she murmured, her gaze lingering on the dolls. "Some secrets are better left alone." The friends left the house in silence, the memory of the attic dolls haunting their dreams. Theo never spoke of his grandmother again, and the sleepovers returned to Lena's house, where the shadows felt less threatening, if only by a little. The third story was Maya's, though she didn't realize it at first. She had always prided herself on being the most rational, the one who could debunk ghost stories and laugh at urban legends. But everyone has a secret, and Maya's was buried deep, wrapped in layers of denial and forgotten memories. It began with a series of strange messages, scrawled in red ink on Maya's bedroom mirror. The first appeared after a particularly stormy night. "I see you." At first, Maya thought it was a prank. Perhaps Lena or Theo, still shaken by their own experiences, had decided to get back at her. But the writing appeared even when her friends hadn't visited. Always the same looping script, always in the dead of night. Soon, Maya began to hear footsteps in the hall outside her room, slow and deliberate. Her mother dismissed it as the house settling, but Maya knew the difference. The footsteps stopped outside her door, lingered, then retreated. The messages grew more urgent. "Don't tell. He's watching." Terrified, Maya confided in Lena and Theo, who listened in silence. Lena suggested setting up a camera, but Maya hesitated. She was afraid of what she might find. One night, unable to sleep, Maya sat up in bed, clutching her phone. At exactly 3:13 a.m., her bedroom door creaked open. She froze, heart pounding, as a shadow slipped inside, tall, thin, and featureless. The figure crossed to her mirror and traced a new message, its finger leaving a trail of red. "You know me." The next morning, Maya checked her phone, but the footage was corrupted. Static and flickering images. She was convinced she was losing her mind, but Lena and Theo believed her, their own experiences lending weight to Maya's fears. Together, they searched for answers, digging through old newspapers and town records. What they found chilled them to the bone. Decades ago, Maya's house had belonged to a family plagued by tragedy. The youngest child had vanished, leaving behind only a series of cryptic messages scrawled in red ink. The police never found the child, but rumors spread, stories of a shadow that crept through the halls, whispering secrets to those who dared listen. Maya realized the truth. The shadow was drawn to secrets, feeding on fear and guilt. The more she tried to ignore it, the stronger it grew. With Lena and Theo's help, Maya confronted the figure one final time, standing before her mirror and demanding it leave her alone. The shadow recoiled, shrinking to a thin line before vanishing. The messages stopped, and the footsteps faded. But Maya knew the truth. Some secrets never die. They only wait for someone new to listen. As the years passed, the three friends drifted apart. The weight of their shared experiences too heavy to carry. Each had been touched by something dark and hungry, something that thrived on the secrets they kept from each other and themselves. Lena moved away, her closet finally empty. Theo's grandmother passed and the dolls disappeared from the attic, but Theo never returned to the house. Maya stayed, her mirror pristine, but her dreams haunted by whispers she could never fully banish. And sometimes, on stormy nights, a chill would settle in Lena's old room, and the closet door would creak open. In Theo's empty house, the attic would echo with faint, childish laughter. In Maya's bedroom, a shadow would flicker in the corner of her eye, just for a moment. Three best friends, bound by secrets and fear, each with their own encounter with the darkness that hides in plain sight. They acted normal, smiled, and laughed. But beneath the surface, something sinister waited, watching, listening, and remembering every secret they ever told. So, as you drift to sleep tonight, remember, not all friendships are as innocent as they seem. Sometimes, the people closest to you hold the darkest secrets. And sometimes, those secrets are not theirs alone. If you ever hear a whisper in the dark, or see a message on your mirror that wasn't there before, ask yourself, what secrets have you shared? And who or what might be listening? Sleep well, if you can.